Cool. All right. 30 minutes till lunch. We're going to take a 1-hour lunch and come back and go till 4. I want you to know what that process is going to look like. Mike and I are going to be doing writing. Don't be scared about that. We're doing your presentations, your 3 slides. When everyone's done, Mike and I are going to talk about some things we saw. We're not going to do individual, take you apart in front of everyone kinds of things. We're going to talk about things we saw that you'll know, oh yeah, that's what I did or whatever, but it won't be that pointed. And the idea too is that you're critiquing too, because I want you to reflect and start really looking hard at what other people do and learning from the autopsying other people's performance and become a scientist of that. My kids were good video kids because I taught them to watch film critically and to really ask themselves where the camera is and why. And once they started doing that, they never saw TV the same again. They'd say, the boom mic always comes into the shot in almost every show you watch. If you watch the top of the screen, at some point the boom mic always enters the shot. No one notices this usually unless you're looking for it. You've got a union guy doing this. Crap. Now, if that union guy just ruined $1 million shot, you think he's telling the director? And the director doesn't see it. That's why that happens, right? Well, you see that if you're looking for it. And as a presenter, you see stuff if you're looking for it. So we're going to get a chance to see each other a little bit, okay? And that's what's going to happen this afternoon. I want you to share with me, how do you gauge the room? How do you look at the audience while you're presenting? Talk to me about some things you said. Anybody?
Well, I said, when I first start, I look for those friendly faces, because I give myself that luxury, just so that I get more comfortable with where I am.
Right. So,
and then I go to the not-so-friendly faces, or sometimes even the angry faces, and tell a personal story.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed when I tell a personal story, that softens most of them.
Right.
And then sometimes there's just some you're not going to win over,
right.
and I give myself the luxury of ignoring them and going back to the friendly faces.
I'm going to piggyback on what you just said. I call this what it is. I anoint it, the behavior. I'm going to do 2 things to you like you're my audience. Ready? I'm the keynote. I'm going to do a benevolent thing. But it's really for me, not for you. Right? I want to challenge you guys today. You're at a conference for the day. You're going to be watching breakout sessions from your colleagues who are scared. Honor them. If you're not presenting, honor the ones that are. Don't sit there and try to outknow them. Love them. Support them. Feed them with your eyes. Now, I just pre-qualified the whole audience, not just for them, but for me. I jumped on it. I called this in Evansville, Indiana. I said, you, my dear, are feeding me right now. Everyone, you're feeding me with your eyes. You're willing me to be great. That's what good teachers do. What did I just tell the rest of the audience? Everything else is what bad teachers do. Sneaky, isn't it? She was proud, and they all became her. That's a pre-qualifier. So you're onto something, but you were compartmentalizing. I'll go to them and like them. Oh, go look at him. I can't meet his gauge yet. He's hateful. He's hateful. I don't even talk to him. I talk to her and make him into something else. That's power. You know what I mean? So you're on the right track. I would keep doing that. It's good to have friends in the room that are friends on Twitter because they'll feed you too. Sometimes they're overzealous. They're like, woohoo! You're not even good yet? All I did was zip my fly. Hey, nice job. Thank you. Calm down a little bit. Let everyone else like me too. You know what I mean? What are the other things? The things you look at that you gauge what to do and how you're doing it.
We also talked about you need to have someone watching Twitter or whatever's acting as a back channel in that conference, because that's a way of gauging the audience that cannot be done while you're speaking. Someone has to be your partner and do that for you and give you a signal when you have lost.
Yes. And that's a double-edged sword. There's a double-edged sword. I got different ways of thinking about this. I love the back channel. I don't put the back channel on my screen because then I give every sniper in the room the ability to kill me. If I trusted everyone, that some people weren't just amoral buttholes, I could do this, but there are some people that just hate. I won't give them the ability to derail me. My mission's too important, but I will watch the back channel. What I find is society is self-correcting. I let a butthole say what a butthole says, and I never address them. The minute I address them, we're equals. I don't address them. I let my fans rip them a new corn shoot, and they always do. So let them be. Most people won't be a jerk with their name on it. This is why Facebook doesn't turn into a disaster for school districts. I want to say stuff, but God, I don't want you to know who I am. People are meaner in the cafe than they are on Facebook. That's the happy secret. So back channels don't scare me, but they can be distractors if people get up here and realize I'm on stage with him right now. I'm going to do that. So I just can't give that power away. If that sounds like a control freak, I've seen it go that way before. I've seen it go that way when it should go that way because the presenter was terrible and they deserved it probably, but it's still hard to watch a train wreck, right? The back channel will keep you honest too, because people will say things in the back channel they won't tell you in the room. It's good to read those reviews. I think they're better than any other conference review you can get because they're live and they're what they thought right now, not afterwards when they cooled down or whatever. I want to know what you thought in the heat of the moment, you know? So on my front, look at my website. What do I have over there on the right? An always on Twitter feed. That's pretty dangerous. Anytime you go to my page, you're going to see what people are saying right now. That's a little bit scary, but so far, it's okay. You know, that's an interesting. We hadn't talked about Twitter as one of those things. What else? What else?
We talk about eye contact and body language, and that's good to sometimes have a ringer in your audience that way you can work on interaction with that person I'll speak up.
Having a ringer in the audience is not a bad idea for a couple reasons. If I'm trying to change the culture, no one here knows how to think the way I'm describing. To have one person to at least go, that can be powerful. Then they go, he's not crazy. Okay, so maybe I'll entertain this thought. Because in our culture, we've never done that thing he's talking about. Now, if you take a headlong stab at that and it pushes you back, you know, you make quick adjustments and you come around the edges, you know. You don't meet him on the front porch, you climb in the window or whatever. You're making fast calculations and changes like that. How about, I want to talk about body language. Now, guys, I taught for 13 years K-12, and I taught high school kids, and since then at ESDAC, I've talked to hundreds of thousands of kids. Because as an online safety, cyberbullying guy, I talk to auditoriums full of high school kids. You want to get good at something? Talk to 500 high school kids at a time for an hour, and have them thank you. That's the octagon. That, or talk to administrators, either way. It's pretty hard, right? So body language teaches me everything. So I'm watching body language. Here's the body language, right? When people are uncomfortable, they squirm. They don't know it. When they're feeling indicted, they squirm. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it's okay for them to go, crap, I'm the one that did that. Oh, I do that now. It's okay to let them have that quiet moment without anyone saying it. You know, they're going, oh, God, I'm doing that to kids every day. If they're going to change, they have to address that. Right? So it's okay if they squirm a little bit. Crossed arms, crossed legs means what? I'm done. Here's my wall. You're full of crap. I'm done. Right? Newspaper, which we've actually seen people hold up a newspaper. That's pretty blatant. Who's willing to be most rude in your audience? What audience is most capable of being bluntly rude? Okay, so you said teachers, administrators at the same time, right? Teachers, yes. To me, administrators, even more. Why? They have a million things to do, right? Most of the time they're convinced they're doing most of it right. They're not sure they should. They're only here because their teachers are here. Just like when teachers bring kids to your staff development or your presentation, they're only there to watch their kids. I teach the teachers and kids at the same time, but I don't tell them that. How do you get to them, right? They can be very rude too. It's easier for me to talk to smarmy high school kids than it is administrators. So man, you got to be good, and you don't have long to be good. With kids, here's my rule. If I don't have them in 5 minutes, I've lost them for the hour. I have 5 minutes. Let me tell you how it goes wrong. How it goes wrong. Only once did I have my butt handed to me with high school kids, and I've talked to a lot of them. I pulled off miracles because I pray a lot while I'm presenting. Thank God, because it's hard. It's bigger than me. So kids can be tough, right? I have 5 minutes for them to think I'm worth the crap to listen to, and then I got them. So one time I lost them. I lost them because I never got them. Because I never had a chance to get them. Because the mean in them came out before I could win them. This can happen within the audience. Here's mine. I'm in a gym. 500 kids, 9 through 12. Freshmen in the nosebleed seats. Seniors on the front row. Principal walks over. The anatomy of a train wreck. Ready? The kids won't be able to see your presentation unless all the lights are out. If all the lights are out, you can't see the kids. If the lights are on, they can't see your presentation. Which would you prefer? To leave at this time? He's also given me a microphone that's a bullhorn. Read my blog on this, okay? Everyone does bad presentation sound. I won't allow that. I control the sound. Why? If I'm shotgunning you, okay, in a ceramic room, the sound is coming out of his bullhorn. Here's what they say. Oh, it's plenty loud. Oh, that's your strategy? Plenty loud? That's it? Where's the nuance? The fact that I can go down to whisper sensitive and have you hear me and come all the way back up to here is my latitude. Take that away and I'm an announcement system. That's 90% of what I'm good at. You took away with one bullhorn. Don't be at the mercy of someone else's sound. They don't even know why it sucks, but I do. I study it. I talk in the bullhorn, it bounces off the ceramic wall and you hear it twice. You don't know you hear it twice, subconsciously you know, but you don't know, it just confuses your brain. By 10 a.m., you look fatigued. That's bad sound. That's something we can avoid that, if you know that, right? The administrator doesn't even know. He just bullhorns everyone. Teach him this. He won't believe you, but when you own the room, tell him why you did. Because I was soft, I was gentle, I could be whisper sensitive, I could take my story all the way down to the edge of something and all the way back up to something again. That's the system. $160, 6 batteries. It's portable. We'll do a whole day on the same batteries if you can't plug in. Fits in a suitcase. I studied hard to get this little system. Gives me the microphone, my amps, tons of... I got to get a lot of worth out of everything I have. It's got to be worthy of the suitcase, right? So I study hard. On my website, I have a place you can click that shows you everything I take on the road and a link to where I bought it. One table full of stuff. Nerds usually love this page. You could probably outshop me, but I bet you can't outdo me in terms of the performance of the things I buy. Because the crap has to work and it has to survive the impacts of the suitcase, right? That's important stuff. So for body language, I'm watching cross arms. I'm talking to everyone. I'm telling stories, right? I'm telling stories that are going to win them. Stories you can't argue with my frame. There's a book called Don't Think of an Elephant that I want you to consider reading this summer. Don't Think of an Elephant. It's a political book. It has a bent. Ignore the politics and steal its logic. I build frames that I can put everything in that you can't argue against. Here's a frame. Every kid can succeed. What, you're against this? What do you hate, kids or success? What is wrong with you? It's a great title. Every kid can succeed. How you frame something, how you name it, will either invite or disinvite your audience. So what you call it is important. Okay. Handling the one loud person. This is going to get fun. Because we've all got experience. In the classroom and after, right? I'll tell you a couple of my quick favorite ones. You're talking, let's say Dr. Cook over there is talking. Now Dr. Cook is a principal, right? He doesn't want to like me anyway. He's 1 year from retirement. He's my challenge for the day, and I know that. I've been feeding him hard all day, stroking him, telling him his programs are great. He hasn't done anything real in 10 years, but I'm keeping him in play. Because if he turns on me, he'll take those 3 with him because they all like him. You know that. It's the same way in a classroom. The herd leader, you better get him quick. I usually anoint them and go, Mike, this is a tough room. I don't know anybody. Can you help me? Yeah, sure. What do you need? Well, I just know you got a lot of experience. I might be going to you a couple of times, leaning on you a little bit. Is that okay? Now suddenly he's afraid I'm going to call him any minute. He can't think of anything else. He's trying to think of what he's going to say when I do call him. I just put him in queue for a while, right? Now, if he stays with me, I might win him over eventually, right? Here's one of my other favorites. You're talking and talking and talking, and you do it everybody knows you do it. You're famous for it. And they don't like it either, but no one ever called you on it. And if I call you on it, we're in a fight. And we're in your turf. So I'm going to be gentle, right? I'm going to come over and go, hey, you guys mind if I butt in for a second? Thanks. Okay, just what did I just do? The presenter asked if he could butt in, right? And I did it fast, right? And friendly. And I thanked you, quick. I paid you. Can I have a hamburger? And gave you the money. And I walked away. It's already too late. I already paid you. It's done. We're not in a fight, right? Hey, can I butt in for a second? Thanks a lot. Anyway, so what I was going to say, and so he's like confused. This guy's always saying, what just happened? No one's ever handled me like that before. You know, that little technique can work. Humor can work with that guy. God, you need some quick ones. Some quick quips. What do you say? So, and then someplace, God, I don't know if it was the cheese state. What's the cheese state?
Wisconsin.
That's it. I'm in Wisconsin. 300 teachers for the day. They all like what I say except one guy. Crossed-arm guy over there was crossed-armed before he even started. He didn't want to be there. I know he hates me, but he's got influence. That table's leaning into him, so I know he's got influence. When he quits, we have a chance. But right now he works there. So, okay, what am I going to do? And he's looking all day waiting for his end, because he's going to sniper me. He resents the fact that I exist, right? I can't let that throw me. And by the way, comments that people leave you. One comment should never make you change your philosophy. One comment is not your customers. One comment could be just a wild card, a guy who hates everything. Trolls on social networks, they just do it. Don't change your whole content for one comment. You see trends, yeah, maybe you make some adjustments. How many of you are really sensitive to comments that people leave? These things hit me right in the heart. They can derail me. So I have to be real careful how I read them. I almost have to glance at them, then re-glance, then re-glance. It's hard for me, but it's important to do that. Right? Don't let comments throw you. So I had this guy waiting to sniper me, and I could feel he's coming. He's getting his gun ready. I can see him getting the bolt action ready. He's got the round in the chamber. 2 o'clock's when he decides to shoot. Raises his hand. Hadn't talked all day. Raises his hand. He's got his hand up in a big way. Big 5, right? It's not a, I have a point to make. He's doing this. I'm like, oh crap, here it comes. That's where you find out what you got, right? Your big one. He said, this stuff you're saying, I don't buy any of it. I said, well, it's 2 o'clock. I only got an hour left. Can you rent it for 1 more hour? And everyone laughed. They said, he's a butthole. And we're done. Even he thought it was cool. You know what I mean? Where's your list? Because you're going to need some stuff. You're going to get some stuff you don't deserve. Doesn't matter. How are you going to handle the moment with people? I want you to talk to your people at your table. Things you've heard that you thought, yeah, that was good. Or things that you've said, you know. And a lot of times this is with kids, too. They shut it down, but they don't challenge them to fight you more. You know what I mean? They don't give the floor to the other person. Talk about that for a bit.
And there was one and he was not about to see anything I had to say. And we had about 5 minutes where we went and calmed things down, cleaned us up throughout the night. And even when I was up close to her, she was really into it. And I just kept walking straight to her. I never took eye contact with her. And I felt like I never really got validation from her, but at least I didn't lose her respect. At least I didn't, cower away from her. I tried my best to stay in contact.
So is it like a good improv? When somebody says something from the audience,
and I found it really I at least felt comfortable. I don't know that I've ever pulled any of those off of there, but I do think I felt confident to be able to because they asked them just questions. Really? Yeah, and he does it. Yeah.
Any more than there was one guy, he's one of these.
Well, and that's, I guess, maybe part of my personality too, because I love working with the secondary teachers who want to fight the rest of them. And a lot of questions I'll take as if they were legitimate questions, whether they were or not. And I would really try to answer them. I'll say, well, this is somebody, if it's like,
And he was telling me, he's like, this is so neat.
does anybody else have a person who's so then to crowd again? Deals with those and I know that gives me a chance to,
because I was a woman in technology, and he didn't remember. Then it was anything I was saying, he was asking. But I need to
I'll let you tell the story that's
to validate them, but different mentality.
There are some people
and then I'm just gone. Right. Yeah. And then I'm
no, but then just not so sometimes I go to a table and before I get iced tea water. wish I could.
At least she never.
Yes, you did.
Here's the one.
This big glare on my screen all day, and I sit down and you ever see your audience? Well, you know you have to the ears and I feel like I can do it. And then I was like, I approached the ship and I was I can go far. So once I remember that, I know I just talked to people on that. I even kind of said, hey, nobody understands. Administrators don't understand it. But I made it work.
It's your better. It seems like superfluous. It's not. Big engineers have to say without trying. Right. Trying means training. It's like it takes a certain amount of hours to fully supply, so even if they want it'll be tomorrow.
Essentially, where you sound and physics, like elementary, how loud do you test sound levels in class? Here's the background noise. Here's how loud you talk. Here's super close. Well, we hear really well. They're over there. How much is the phase from exponential for distance?
And Gmail.
Like, because you just and Mom, how she does I'm afraid you show us step by step.
I showed up.
So is it so hard? Is it by like
Yes, we did. It's a wonderful sound system. You know what
Okay, guys and girls.
it goes kind of back to how we our video structure.
We got 8 minutes till lunch. I want to make a recommendation. We're going to go off campus and go different places for lunch. Take people with you. Continue these conversations. Here's what I really want. I want you to cement your relationships. There's some way that these two guys should be working with you, Nancy, but I don't know what it is yet, and you won't know till you find it. All of you have those kind of synergies that you can find. It might be with me. I want to invite you that anything you see that I'm doing that you can do too, that our missions are the same, let's find a way to do it together. Let's let my visibility lead to your success. I'll give you that. Ask for it, please. I got to duplicate me. I can't do more days. I'm exhausted. But I'll gladly say that Jeff can do it. And you go make me look good because you'll go rock. I know you will. Right? Don't embarrass me. You'll go, no, I know, but I have faith in you. You'll rock. But when you rock, they'll thank me for it. So we both win. I just want to tell you, I'll gladly do that. I don't know if you know that about me, but I need an army. I want to say yes to all the day. So if I can't say yes and Brenda knows you're available, she has your half sheet on her desk and you're partnering with ESDAC and now we have this agreement, then they call you next and then you're doing the keynote because we said you were great. And it's not always easy to hand work to other people because they come to me wanting me and I got to quickly, she's going to quickly tell them why you're great. And she needs your half sheet in your words. She can't guess. So quickly, what is your half sheet? That matters more than you know. We can help each other. We can help each other a lot. Okay, so these things that we're saying, I hope we learn. When we have our learning community, I want to put them all in one place so we can all find them and say, that's the perfect one. That's the one I should have used. But you brought up something, Kay, and I want you to bring this out a little bit with the audience. So talk about this.
Talk about what happened at ISTE.
Yes.
When we were at ISTE, we were sitting in a little pub talking, just having a great time and laughing, and this gentleman sitting across from me started asking me about why Apple. And every time I tried to answer his question, he interrupted me. And the more I talked to him, the less he respected me and definitely showed a lack of respect. So Kevin chimed in. But I want to know, how do I handle it? I felt like the reason why he was so mean with me was because I was a woman and in technology. And I've experienced that before, being a woman in technology and knowing the, not just the fluff and how to turn on a computer and everything, but I know how networks work and that kind of stuff. And that's, apparently it's intimidating to men. Some men, not all.
Okay, so I'm going to take that on a couple different ways. I'm going to offer to you that it's not because you're a woman. I'm going to offer to you because you're nice. You're polite, he saw that as weakness and he stepped all over you. I came in with pistols blazing. I was halfway drunk, didn't even know what I was saying. But I was mad because he attacked my girl. You don't attack my girl, right? And I had my script ready and he realized I was going to brag his bill. You were nice. So there's times when you can be strategically sharp and let them know you're not going to take this. You have the authority. You're that good. I think you're nice. And 99% of people will never take advantage of that, but one or two a-holes will. And that moment comes, that's when you say the things that you say, right? I've done this before. Hey, look, I want to talk about that. I really do. I can tell you're an expert. In fact, I want to lean on you hard. Can we do that at lunch? Because I've got a lot to cover. Thanks. I didn't say he couldn't. I'm never going to talk to him. He doesn't want to talk to me privately. He wants to own this room. I took it off the table. Or if they keep getting expansive, I say, yeah, on the break, I'd like to have a mini session where you could really hold forth, and we'll see how many people come. No one comes, of course, and he realizes he sucks. That's why he's not presenting, right? How do you talk about without talking about it, One guy, I'll give you a real one. This guy came after me with everything he had when I was very insecure. I'm new at ESDAC. I don't even know if I'm any good. The value of working at a place like ESDAC is they put you out there before you're really there, you know what I mean? So you feel thin. You ever feel thin, like you don't have much content? And if anyone drills down, they're going to find out you're naked? Anyone? No? But still you go out there, right? It's the work, and that's the only way to get better is to do this stuff. But this guy, I was talking about Web 2.0 in pretty early days, but I was all over it. Here's a network IT guy who absolutely hates it all, blocks it all. And he came to outknow me, and he's sitting there cross-armed, and yeah, he's mad, and he yells at the top of his lungs. No one in my school will do what you're saying. If they try, they'll be fired. I've done it before. The whole room was like, he peed in the campfire. Now I got to recover from this at a big conference in North Carolina. I said, can I have your permission to keep going? Because there are some people who want to know the stuff I'm saying. I'd love to talk to you more. I can tell you're an expert. I may have to lean on you a little bit. Okay. Everyone was so relieved that I said something. And then all through the day when anyone asked a question that was boring, I said, I think we can go to Mitch here. Mitch, you know the answer to that. Can you tell the audience what you think? I did that like 50 more times. Until he was exhausted. He was exhausted. I worked his butt off. He knew what I was doing too. Want to be an expert? I'll let you be on all the boring stuff. And I'll guide all the good stuff. At the end of 8 hours, he comes up and says, I know what you did to me. And I had it coming. He said, I came here to learn something. I tried to shut you down. I said, you think? And we've been friends since then. We ended up being friends because I did, do that. I want to give you permission. You're good enough. You know what I mean? And your authority is, you've been doing this for real. I may know more about Cisco routers. But how many times is it really about, exactly, all day, Cisco routers? I know you want to say your thing. That's cool. I'll give you your moment. But what you know about is how to facilitate teachers to open doors for kids. And you do know that. And no one gets to challenge you on that. They may do it their way, but you're here and paid to talk about your way. Seize that authority. Own it if you have to. It's a shame that sometimes we have to slap. Right? Come up with ways that don't seem off script for you. Right. You're probably going to have a friendly way that shuts them down without over-challenging them. You know what I mean? I'd say be careful. It might be because you're a woman, but be careful not to let that be a trap to look for it.
Exactly.
I bet you it's because you're just a nice person. Because I go places, and guys, I'm not the most manly person in the world. Okay? I always tell people I'm just gay enough that people trust me with their wives. But I am a heterosexual. But for some people see that as weakness. You know what I mean? That's true. But I coached football and I ran the weight room because I had to also establish my credentials in other places. But there are times when I think I'm in one of those situations where it's all testosterone. If I let myself think that's what's happening, I can talk myself into bigger monsters. You know what I mean? But I think the simple thing is that you're coming into your own right now. You know what I mean? And you're this close to grabbing the whole thing. I look at Cheryl Nussbaum Beach. Who knows her? who knows Cheryl knows Palm Beach. Study her. I study the ones that are talking internationally and making big money, because why not study them, right? And what Cheryl is confident. Now, she's probably not as confident as she looks, but you can't tell. She seizes the room, and she doesn't give anybody an in to try to do that. That came with time, and experience. And it'll come to all of you. You're all going to have a moment. Every time you have that moment, go back to your core. Remind yourself why you're there. They hired you for a reason. Pat, because you've got legitimate experience with real schools, and you've been busting your butt for how many years? You belong there, right? And no one should challenge you. No one should even try to challenge you. They will, though. But remember who you are, where you came from. You belong here. If you don't believe it, no one will. Anybody else on this whole... By the way, I put a few things on there. I made a list. I just didn't go through it point by point. Okay, but these are some of my pieces of advice. If you were my son, this is what I would tell you after 8 years of slogging it out there in the field. Okay? And you've got your own stuff, too. It's as good as mine. But here you're getting mine. Clues that you have authority. Watching the audience. Boy, look at the audience. Look at the audience here. I take lots of pictures of the audience on purpose because I study it. Okay, when you're doing it live in the room, you're going to see it. You're going to see it, right? But then you're going to forget what you saw because it's happening live. So getting some pictures reminds you, oh yeah, that's that one guy. God, I didn't get him till halfway through. He hated me till halfway through. That one story, I owned him on that story right there. That's how you take it apart. Autopsy, what happened. Looking at the body language of these people. What are they thinking? By the way, these are the people who brought me in. You want them to be smiling, right? But you want to go deeper back here, and look at the audience. I specifically did this in New Zealand because I really need to know. I'm going back to New Zealand. Did I make it with those guys? Who believed me and when? How quick? How many of you have ever really made a study of the audience? Okay, so this could be new curriculum, and it's good stuff. Watching Twitter is the same thing. You can see Twitter, you can see words. Here you got a snapshot of faces. You will remember these people because you spend an hour looking at them. You know what I mean? And those lessons come back to you. So I do that. What are the clues that you have authority leaning forward? It's simple, but once they lean forward, they're bought in. As long as they're leaning back, they're holding a barrier. Once they lean forward, if they're doing this, it's okay. They're having some cognitive things going on there. They may be having a little tension inside their head, trying to believe you, right? And if you take an audience to the edge of what they don't believe, you got to pay for that a lot. A new story, oh my God, he's like me, we're on the same mission, okay, I'll try your stuff again. But you can't hit them over and over and over with stuff that makes them want to flip their whole paradigm without repaying for it, because that's a lot, It's a lot. So if you're going to move people, you got to parse that out, and that's how you break up that hour. You can fit 5 of these in there, right? And when you see the audience is pushing back hard, you can lose them. If you push too hard, you won't get them back, even if you try. You broke it, right? You push start in the car, hoping they'll pop the clutch. Lose an audience. This is the last thing we're talking about because we're up till lunch right now. It's probably 11:30 right now. So this is your lunchtime conversation. Your 2 assignments. 1, get to know other people. And 2, when you see a presenter lose the whole audience, what are the things not to step in that you saw, that caused that? You sat there and went, dang, why did you do that? God, everything's going so great till that. It may be that you did that. But I got to make a list of those not to step-ins, right? So think about that. That's during lunch. I'm going to hang around here in case there's some people that are here. There are great restaurants. What are the best ones for people to walk to from here? Whiskey Creek. Raise your hand if you know this area pretty well. Raise your hand. So we know who the leaders might be to take us to some places. Okay.
That's going to be pretty thin for the
And we got 4 squares, so we'll find some place to eat. Anyway, so I'm going to hush, but I'm hanging around for a little while. Thanks for staying awake so far. Okay? Get to know each other.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
12:30. We're starting at 12:30, so yeah. If you could come in a little later,
Would you like it?
Okay.
a little later.
We're
I'll
gonna
go
say
get my stuff from here.
that's one thing to my heart.
Thanks for bringing that up.
It's just right there. I'll tell you, that's good. And the one that used to be Whiskey Creek looks like a video. Etc. I think there's CD versions just up today. Puff House does, and Mark am gonna eat them.
We went to Birch Street Tavern last night. That was nice.
Right here in River City.
Okay, somebody was looking for somebody from Montana.
Oh, there they are.
Right there. Who was looking for the guy from Montana?
I'm gonna go with
We're going River City.
Alan was. Alan was.
Birch Street.
Montana.
Alan.
Dean from Montana.
All right.
All right.
How are you? You push it. Hello, how are you, sir?
Okay.
Good. How are you? Dude, I haven't seen you. Oh, my Lord. Oh, yeah, I'm doing fine. Absolutely, going well. I do business now. So what are you up to now? Oh, it's Lacing, which is south of Kansas City. Yeah, me and Kevin out at that. Oh, yeah. Good, how are you? Maybe ran into you once or twice. Maybe the State Department or something.
So I'm researching all this. Last time we saw you.
Just like I say, ginger, hot and spicy.
All right. Yeah, if I can find some. How do you shut this goddamn thing off?
You don't want much.
I've pushed every combination of buttons.
Yeah, just a little. You've been
All right, you win.
Talking to you right now, I'm thinking I'm working.
Who's leading and when are they taking off?
Let's go. All right, River City.
I can't, I'm sorry. I know, I'm breaking the rules and I'm going to be yelled at later today. Yeah, yes, absolutely. I've got PBLs, mine, and yeah, I do have mine. I do have mine.
So they have the ability to connect with lower income schools. What kind of story would that be if we connected a lower income school in the United States, a school? I mean, we're saying we're not helping schools in the U.S.
I'm not.
In goal, we
Nope.
want to help.
You're eating healthy?
And that's.
Oh no! Well, actually, I think so. Depends on what she buys me. I pay my card to
That's
a friend who's gonna buy me lunch. So.
Friday.
We want to tell the story, but we also want to tell them we want to do this in the future. We want this to be using 21st century.
And we're hoping the audience can help build partnerships. You know, like we have people in the audience we can partner with, and maybe
We're going to start inviting people, we can't do this on our own.
Ginger, what are you doing for lunch?
Unfortunately, I am working.
Or even like we just
Yes. I've got an iPad thing a little bit from this afternoon, and Chris wants to work on slides. I think she wants some.
We just want to follow
slides.
things going to pay for you.
She will be at like 2.
Wow. Yeah.
Won't ya?
Yeah.
Let's go get something. It's not like you need a refrigerator in here.
Yeah. Yes. I could see that switch. I can't imagine. It's weird switching the village into Applebee's, so I can't even imagine something of
At
that
least it's still
scale.
an education.
Yeah. Yeah.
Share a passion
Yeah.
for learning.
All
It's good
right.
to talk to you.
You
Good
too.
luck.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
So everything's set for tomorrow?
Well, not now. I mean, I'm listening to this for 2 hours.
I'll tell you what, your stuff. I watched your presentation last year. You do exactly what he talks about.
Because it's all new stuff.
Well,
Stuff
yeah,
I've been
sure,
brewing,
but-
I've been brewing on it for 2 years.
I know how
But,
you put stuff out.
Let's see what happens. That's what there are some.
I won't help. Don't answer.
I'm a really
I
bad.
didn't know you were talking to me. I'm sorry. This wireless. Oh.
But she was there first, and that's why she gets all the love. I know. I know. I was doing.
And there's quite a few like that I just, I don't understand. It's a puzzle.
Yeah.
It's just, it really is. There's something good going on. It's more complicated. It's like lightning in a bottle sometimes, but I think some of it is.
Yeah, I think it is. It just has to have that understanding, and he's opening the behind the stage curtains.
Yeah.
We can open and have opened the behind the stage curtains on how to put this whole thing on too. So,
But
yeah.
what she said about dancing, I really felt that last time. Tell she's on YouTube, but it's all good.
Well, and you know my favorite part about this whole environment is that the people who really put the conference on are not SDAC people. SDAC people make the pretty things and they set up the computers. But everybody else who really does it, they're us. They're participants. The photo walk, the dancing, the songs, those are SDAC people doing that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, just
the
like that
flavor
flash
is.
mob last year, and I was like,
Yeah,
cross that off my
that's-
bucket list.
That's not
Flash
SDAC
mob.
people doing that, you know? You'll see SDAC people tomorrow, and you saw them last year. Everybody has the same shirt on. You watch what they're doing during the dance. What are they doing? What'd you do during the dance last year?
I didn't dance last year.
What'd you do?
I wasn't here
Oh, you
for
weren't here.
a couple
Okay.
of hours, so.
We'll see. I had a very long conversation, but I was 2 weeks in the office last year. And when we got finished, I said, do you know what makes Bloodstock work? This sort of thing. What did we do? They all said, well, I'm shy. But you're the people who put the conference on. But you know what? It seems to work, so I can't complain, right? Or I can. It doesn't matter.
So did you dance last year?
Hell no, I didn't dance because I was busy talking to people who didn't dance and who wouldn't dance, and so I worked the crowd. I worked the crowd really hard. What I didn't do is stand with all my friends in the corner. That's good. Why would you? First of all, nobody wants to stand with me in the corner. That's okay, Chris. I am so sorry I did not stop. I am so sorry I did not pay attention to what you're doing. But stop.
Yeah, stop.
First of all, you're not allowed to tattoo yourself. Have you ever seen a tattoo artist tattoo himself? You know what they do? They end up putting the tattoos on upside down. That's the first thing that goes wrong. The second thing,
right there.
right? So peel that off and let me tattoo you. No, you are not. I think that's funny that you, of all people, say that. No, it's not going to re-stick. Just throw it away. Okay. Okay, where do you want this one? Like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tattoo you.
Yeah, I said that kind of in a whisper because that's what
Yeah, that's a big no-no. I couldn't believe you said it.
Well, I'll make you.
But I thought if anybody was going to, I think you had license, right? So do you want my PBLs on there?
Sure.
And the pretty
That
cards?
wasn't up there.
No, those are Kevin handing out at Kevin's event. I got my own gig.
That is yours.
Oh, did you write these? Is this Danae's handwriting?
No, it is Pam's, because she's done some color
How you feeling?
K is where, right here?
Yep, right there.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm not real sure. Jerry, right here.
Yeah?
Right?
What do you mean you're not real sure?
I don't know, I just feel
I can tell you're not feeling well.
discombobulated or something. I just feel, I don't know if it's because of the tech issues and everybody's hounding me going.
Well, is there a room?
Who's hounding you?
Yes, I think for the first time,
Because I don't know that anybody in here's having any tech issues, are we?
Okay, and is there alcohol in there too? What do you think? Already. Have you drank anything?
I have had one before.
Yes.
Okay.
Which
I'm having
reminds
a
me,
hard time focusing.
I owe you back. You saved my life many times, but yet once again with the Advil at ISTE.
So how did you make these?
Well, what we did is we went to a real tattoo shop. We did. And they were jerks and told me they didn't have enough time because I went in looking like Michael professional self rather than my real self. So they were like, so I walked away from them. I needed to show my real tattoos. I needed to go in with bad breath. I needed to go in with dirty hair. I'm not in my pretty flowered outfit.
Okay, I don't have
It's
that
so
one
funny
with
because
me.
the dude,
But I have that, the blue or naproxen. And so, yeah.
It's the Aleve.
Yeah, so it's the Aleve.
Oh,
Okay, you can get one or two, and then the white is tiny.
Are you wearing press-on fingernails?
Yes.
Oh, because I see them
I
popped
know.
off.
Oh, I lost. Oh my goodness! I lost 3 of them. Yeah.
The press-ons
You know,
never stay.
Well, I should have glued them on, but I did a little quickie because my daughter painted my fingernails purple. I should have just left them for the occasion. And I thought I just need to get that off quick. I'll stick some on.
Do you glue on your press-on nails? Do you do that as a regular course, or are you doing this for your costume?
I used to, yeah.
I did too. In the 80s, I totally glued on my press-on nails with nails. Yes.
Yeah, so.
I ate all sorts of glue right now.
Thank you, Brenda.
So, what is it? What is your drink of choice?
What is it?
Well, the thing that
not-
Jamie got us started on last year, do you like coconut?
Yes.
Okay, Jamie got us started, and Glenn now even drinks it, so that's what we was doing in the room last night. Is Parrot Bay coconut rum with Sprite, and then Glenn and I slice up a lime and put a lime with it.
That sounds good.
Do you want to try that?
Sure.
And then my husband's bringing strawberry, because Maura, Glenn's wife, didn't like the coconut, so we had strawberry. And then I usually bring Crown for Pete.
Okay. I love margaritas.
Okay.
I love wine.
Okay. Red or white?
Red.
Okay. Hot dry.
But I can do dry. But I can do white also. But my preference is red.
Okay.
Yeah, but.
We'll have some red.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Brenda. Now I gotta just find some nail glue.
That, I don't know, have any with me on that.
Or super glue, that would
I was
work.
gonna say, that's what I'm trying to think if I have super glue with me. Now let me do some checking.
All right. Thank you, dear.
Okay, 2 things. Put the apple here. Don't! You can't do it! And this here?
And
Is that what you
oh,
want?
PBL and PBL, okay.
Do you want that?
Sure.
Okay.
I can't even say one for my,
Your iPad?
yes.
You definitely should. Which one do you use at presentations most often?
This one probably more.
Okay.
So we're going
The
to
apple
PBL.
here, is that cool?
Sure.
Okay. You know what, I might let you do that.
Apple and the apple.
The apple's easy.
Use ginger. I just got tattooed by ginger.
Well, and that's the deal.
Okay,
is
so
that
they
we
were
take
rude
a
to you. What did you
picture.
end up doing?
Oh, well, I went to the Advertised Design Spec because they said, you know, we need to know how much time, blah, blah, blah. And so I went to the advertising people and I need to know their deadline. And she says, you know, we have an artist who can do that. And, you know, we'll just render something up for you. And I was like, well, yeah. I said, I'm looking at Sailor Jerry tattoos. She goes, yeah, I think you're doing more like Ed Hardy tattoos. She mentioned when we talked later. And it turned out that's what it was. And she used the right style of tattoo that we were looking for. And so there it was. So we did not do that tattoo parlor thing. That's where Kevin got his tattoo on his arm, so we went. The guy who owns it, actually, his dad and my dad used to run around together. But that bought me no cred.
Yes.
Is there food still in the hallway or not?
Yeah.
Okay. How are you, what's your introductory slide?
That's what I was just trying to decide.
Does it have your name on it? If it does, don't.
Well, okay.
Go ahead.
Because see, well, I'll show you when you get back. I'll come
Okay.
with you. I probably should get something to nibble on.
Okay. Your front slide?
Well, I pulled from something I've already done, which is Down syndrome. And so this was my first slide, but when you asked, right before you said does your first slide have your name on it, I was actually thinking since we're only limited to 3, we're starting with this one, Cardigan syndrome. And that's what she calls it. And it's a little clip where she actually advocates for children with Down syndrome. So
How long's the clip?
I am a young woman. I am not Down syndrome. My name is Audrey. I am a young woman. I am.
It's embedded. Let me see.
What was clip?
Huh? Play it and time it?
Just play it. Let's see. Yeah.
I am a person who lives in the Philippines. The Down syndrome I have is called Down syndrome because I love to sing, dance, and share good time with my wonderful friends. The Best Network is about creating communities of kindness and condition. We like to celebrate diversity, creates excitement in our world. How born it would be if everyone were just alike, loving, thinking, and acting like robots. There is beauty in our differences. Me and my mom started this program together, and we are very close. My mom told me a community is like a box of chocolates. You know it is. Some are filled with nuts. Sometimes I feel like a nut, and sometimes I don't. My favorite is chocolate-covered chips. They feel beautiful, shiny with silicone. Because red is the color. Red is the color of romance and passion.
I didn't see what she did. What she did?
The cool thing is that they have their own distinct flavor. Somebody loves each one. Just as each chocolate is different, so are people. People come on different sizes. They have different colors of hair and eyes. They have logos of monsters.
Mediterranean salad what is good?
Yeah.
These are I am short, have blonde hair and blue eyes. And yes, those
So I
are
could cut that
also
off.
Yeah. I would say right where she says,
Or the Chiefs.
I would chop it right before she said my mother. You know, something about.
Is that right after the Chiefs?
It's actually way before that.
Oh, okay.
Because this is still your introductory. By the way, I think he's only going to give us like 3 minutes. 3 or 5. So, and if this is your introductory.
Well, it doesn't have to be. I do want it to be part of it, though. It could be like I have an introductory and then say, this is why.
Well, that's what your introductory should be. The introductory is why I'm here and what's my authority. Because you've already talked about authority versus.
So before I actually get the slide, I can just say what I am a specialist.
You should do that in a story. Why are you a specialist? Why did you go to special education? What is it? I mean, tell me. What is it about special education that drew you there, particularly with Down syndrome kids? What's that moment? That moment that made you say, "Holy crap, this is the one." Because there is one, isn't there?
Well, not initially. Initially, it was because
Because you needed to jog.
well, I already come from elementary to read those as first standard. One of my boys, stop. I'm just telling you.
No, I know. No, I want you to say that. I want you to say that. I think that's really good because you're going to start with, it's not a place that people just, some people have the passion for this, but some people don't. Okay, so you've got that. That's not a bad start. Fast forward. Fast forward through whatever you were going to tell me, unless it's really, really to just the moment that made you go, okay, this is where I need to be. Pick one. Pick one. And that's the story you tell. You start with, I started out as an elementary teacher. And somebody told me, you probably want special education. Really did a good job at you. But then, when you tell that story, I knew I was home. Tell that slide, show your contact, you're done. 3 minutes, you're done, and you've got the freaking audience there. Okay?
Let me think about that one.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
The stories are the
They
powerful.
are. Right. And personal stories.
You got it. Because what it does is it gives you that credibility of, oh my God, she's got that passion. She's got that. Because who are you going to talk to this? You're going to talk to people who are not sure that, they might drool on me. Or they might, they got to know that not only are you there, maybe you're talking to parents. And they got to know that you love. Right? You're also going to be talking to special ed teachers who are like, she's me. I have that same, and everybody has that story of where they're like, I know where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mike, what's for lunch?
Huh?
What's for lunch?
Lunch?
Yeah, are you not having lunch? Okay.
Not. I'm gonna go work on this board stuff.
Hey.
Board meeting tonight. And have it done, get ready started.
I understand.
Gotta change the agenda. Never fails. But that's okay.
You have plenty of time though, right? You're not doing anything else other than just ready to change an agenda.
And all the documents that go with it.
Yeah. That's what makes you good.
Are these yours?
Yes, we can leave those. That's fine. We're good. Actually, this is empty. I'll give this one to you. Let me not stand up at least. You just barely reach. How's the morning going? Any weirdness?
Good. It's the morning.
Yeah? Are they running you crazy?
No, it's not too bad.
Okay. Because I absolutely have full-on empathy for what you guys are doing because I used to do this. Not here, but your job, I did it for years.
Uh-huh. Where did you work at?
Emporia State University.
Okay.
Yeah, big conference spaces, lots of people coming in, never know what they're going to ask you.
Yeah.
And then, you try to refill their food, but they won't move. Excuse me, they're out of this. If you'd moved, you could have more.
You can have more.
Yeah, I know. And then the people who won't leave, like lunchtime, you're supposed to clean up, there's always somebody in the room still.
Well, that's all right, as long as you don't mind. It's worse at 12 o'clock at night. Wedding.
Get ready, because that's what's happening Thursday with us.
Yeah. We're prepared.
So where are we at?
I don't know, how's your story?
Oh.
God, you weren't thinking about it, were you?
No, I probably could pick one as it relates to this that would be relevant. Little Eric, 3rd grader, I got him.
Yeah.
He was initially shocked to his family because they had several typical children before he was born. So he was a shocker, but it was neat to see over time how much joy he actually brought them, and then he got to experience that in the school setting because he was so ornery, very stubborn, but very full of life, and changed that family and really changed our school around, and definitely my viewpoints of Down syndrome, because he was the first Down syndrome student I had the opportunity to work with, because he learned to Kansas see everything, not just one area of exceptionality. And probably the brightest moment for me working with him was when he learned to read. And that the light bulb came on.
Tell that story sooner. So tell about that story, about when you learned to read and you saw the light bulb. Like, take us there, that we're right there with you.
Yeah.
So give it shorter background, and now let's hear that story.
You know, to be
Yeah.
well, it's towards the end of the year, and we, you know, as we know with many and most of Down syndrome children, they can learn it, but it takes longer. And so we just, you know, year after year with concepts, these teachers and parents have worked with them, and not seeing a lot. And finally, towards the end of the year, just flipped and just seeing the joy in his face and the light bulb come on, and he actually got it, you know. And that was just really,
You're telling
that
us.
was the moment that I broke down to her.
What did his face look? You're telling us about that moment? Make us be in it. You were sitting there with him. He was reading. Doesn't matter what book he was reading. Doesn't matter. Make it up. They don't care. It's the story, right? Bring us with him. So we're reading, we're looking, he's struggling, and then this moment. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Because you know their little round faces. Make us picture it as you're saying it, right? And as that's happening, then we're going to be right there with you, and we'll be doing this. And it's okay if you do too. You know?
I don't like to write.
Yeah, well, nobody does, but it makes you real, and it shows your passion for, right? Okay, how weird was it during my slides at the first launch meeting?
But
that I
I'm
cried?
okay. I'm okay if somebody else does, but myself, I'm not.
Your greatest weakness.
I know.
You're working with some of the most difficult kids to work with. If your heart's not in it, if you talk about it dispassionately, I can't believe it. You have to be right there with them. I'm probably talking about it.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, see, there's so many areas, especially that I have passion in. Like when you said that, probably one of the most passionate times I had was with high school boys. And maybe I should tell that story and get off Down syndrome. And talk, because here's what I'm processing about, but here's what I think is so important, and I can relate it to Common Core, is that those boys have been at risk of dropout. Those special ed boys in Common Core is now going to address college and career.
Okay.
And so for those boys that I was trying to find, you know, something for them to do that was relevant in school, you know, I should do that and make it about selling Common Core services, even though that's kind of an important topic. And one of my passions is high school boys and Common Core. What do you think about that?
Really?
No, not Common Core, but high school boys being dropped out. And the thing that I'm excited about Common Core is...
What's your story again? What's the story that takes us there?
Okay, here's my story.
Okay, I'm just going to let you say it out loud. I'm not really listening, but you just tell it out loud, okay?
You're not really listening.
Well, I am. I shouldn't tell
Okay.
you that. I should tell you and let you think that I'm like right there with you. But
Okay.
it's,
Well,
the more
I have
value is in you
several-
telling the story out loud.
Yeah, and yeah. I have several actual stories, and I say high school boys, high school kids in general, but high school boys it seems like have been the most at risk. But Curtis, when I got him, they asked me to take on a behavior class, all behavior boys, in high school. And I'd never done that before, you know, and so I was a little nervous about it, but went ahead and took it on, and so I got Curtis. He was a senior.
Good. Tell us in general. These are the boys who.
Okay, these are the boys who, you know, had many OSS, ISS, troubled homes.
That's good. Get the
very
audience
at
to say,
risk.
find a way to say, oh, I know those kids, or oh God, I had those kids. I fucking hated them.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, these were pretty severe kids. I mean, they were the ones who were a lot of times social misfits. The teachers didn't like them.
I mean, you know them, right? They sit in the back of the room and they're spitting on your foot.
You introduce them for me. They're like this, or they're sleeping, or they don't show up. They're turning. Anyway, my goal, my job, part of my job was to keep them in school. And so I had Curtis, and Curtis was, when he came to me, he lived with his aunt, but prior to that, his mom had left when he was in 5th grade. Then his dad left one day, so he's living in his house all by himself, and he stayed there until the electricity went off, ran out of food, everything, and went and moved in with some family that took him in. And so then after that, he was shuffled back and forth, you know, between homes and houses, and the time I got him his senior year, he was living with an aunt.
And he trusted no one.
Trusted no one.
Especially the system that had failed him.
Yes.
And any adults who'd ever tried to help him had left him. Get to the details that pull the heart. Don't just tell about it. Tell the story.
Okay.
Okay. Because you're telling about the story. You tell the Taj Mahal is 6 foot tall or 60 stories high. Is this what it's the color of blah blah blah? No, it's this magnificent, wonderful, cold to the touch in a hot desert, and that's
feel it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want feeling